these types of, oh gosh, it just hit me in the face. Oh, it hit me in the face again. Oh, camera's fogged up. We'll try again later. I feel like it has more opportunity to, oh God, to be like a trailing plant. Hi, I'm Michaela and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all of my favorite plants and plant supplies from the month of August 2023. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're going to be starting out with the plants that are in my house, and then we're going to move out to the greenhouse. That's how I usually do things, but that's what we're doing. Oh, I forgot I was doing laundry. So if you hear a sound, I forgot I was doing laundry. Okay, so my first favorite is my Anthurium radicans crossed with the luxurians. And as you may be able to see, the reason this is my favorite is because of this new leaf. And it is really quite big. I'll see if I can put it up next to my head. So yeah, this new leaf is pretty sizable and it's really pretty too. And I just have this sitting out in regular room conditions. I think my house typically stays at about 50% humidity. So this is one that does not need a ton of humidity, and it's not, so it's near a shelf that has grow lights on it, but it is not specifically under its own grow light. So it doesn't need any crazy conditions from you. This is one of those plants that you can just use as decor, which I am always a big fan of, because eventually I'm probably going to forget to provide really intense care to the plants that need it. That's just how my brain works. You saw I forgot I was doing laundry, and the cycles take like 25 minutes. So my attention span is nothing to write home about, or maybe it is because it's so bad. But anyway, that's what I've definitely developed a deep appreciation for plants that do not require a lot of my mental energy. And this is one of them. So I wanted a luxurians so badly a couple of years ago, but I decided I would just make a do with this. And once I got it, I never thought about the luxurians again. So this definitely fills that void for me. And this texture is just beautiful. And it has like square red petioles. Okay, so my next favorite is my Philodendron Patricia. So this one is not the one that I unboxed from Equigenera about a year ago. I got this one from Lawson Plant Co. I'll show you the one that I got from Equigenera. I've tried so hard with that plant, but it is much smaller than it was when I got it, and I'm just happy that it's alive. So it was a plant that I really wanted for a long time. So I'm glad that I got this second one. This did get tangled up unfurling. This was the first leaf in my care, and then this is the newest leaf. And I just can't quit looking at this one. So moral of the story, I'm happy to have this plant, and you kind of get what you pay for. It's a hard lesson to learn for me, because I love a good deal, but sometimes I did not have good luck rehabbing that import. So I got one that was already rehabbed and just ready to grow for me, because for whatever reason, that plant and me, we did not vibe. So, but I wanted to, you know? But anyway, how cool is this? So I'm hoping that I'll be able to keep this one happier than the other one. But what a cool plant. I'm a big fan of plants with long leaves. I can't remember how much this was, but very happy to have this one. Okay, so my next one is my Piper ornatum. I believe it's an ornatum. This plant is loving life in the greenhouse. It did have a little bout with mealybugs, but I think we are on the up and up with that. Not the mealybug populations though. The plant is. But this plant is just really cool. It's got a little bit of pink in it, which I really enjoy in a plant. And I showed this, I think, in my last video. Oh, there's a mealybug, but I'll take care of that. It has activated all kinds of new growth points, which I love to see. So, because it was just the one vine, but now there are new vines at just about every node. So I think that's really cool. And I've been growing it trailing. I know a lot of people trellis these, but I've been growing it trailing. I really like an unconventional trailing plant, and I think that it is looking really cool. The only thing I'm concerned about is and it might be a light enough plant that I won't need to worry, but I kind of worry about the weight when it will have so much plant down here and just one stem at the top. So I may end up doing something else with it, but for now I think that it looks really cool like this. Okay, so my next favorite is my Philodendron Sharoni. I get the Sharoni and the Patricia mixed up. Which one is this one? I think this is the Sharoni, and I'm not sure why I get those two mixed up, but I sure do. But I think this is such a cool plant. I've recently just put it on this little moss pool situation, and we are getting a new growth point here, if you can see that. So it looks to me like it is going to be bigger than the last leaf, which is obviously what I'm going for, but we will see how that goes. It hasn't quite attached to the moss pole yet. I think I probably should get some more Velcro after it so that it can do that a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is really pretty, and I cannot wait to see this size up. My next favorite is a plant supply, and I feel like almost every month I'm featuring a different type of moss pole. That's my new favorite, but this one I think is probably going to be the one to stick around, and it's those core poles. I got them on Amazon, and they're stackable. You don't have to do anything. So that's been my hang up with moss poles the whole time, is I don't always have time to sit down and make a bunch of moss poles. So things will just go without one for a long time and just not do as good as they could because of that. So for a procrastinator like myself, I thought, you know what, it's probably just gonna be easier just to get some that I will actually use rather than save a little bit of money on something that I probably won't even end up making. You're not really saving money if you're doing that. So this, I think, is going to be the way to go for me. I just don't really have the time to make moss poles at the rate that I need them. So that'll just be a lot easier for me. And I already had some, and I ordered these, and I just put the pegs in them, stacked them on the other ones, and we were off to the races. So yeah, it doesn't always have to be the cheapest thing you can find, and that's been a lesson in my adulthood, is that sometimes it is definitely worth paying for convenience. You're not always saving money with the money saving option. I don't know, that may be an unpopular opinion, but for me that's the case. I mean, if my plants are able to grow bigger more quickly and easily with less input for me, that is definitely financially responsible, since I have a plant shop. So yeah, and I don't like to handle sphagnum moss. I had those little like the moss poles you fold and put together. And I did that in a video. It was on the plant I just showed you, but I did not like putting those together. And I think those were actually more expensive by the time you buy the moss and the moss pole than something like that I can just throw on there. So I think for me, that's gonna be the option going forward, but it's probably gonna be different next month. Okay, so we're switching camera angles so I can show you my orchid cactus. I'm not sure what exactly these are called, but these types of, oh gosh, it just hit me in the face. Oh, it hit me in the face again. These types of hanging plants, I love them. They're some of my all-time favorites. They make, oh, excuse me there. They just make such a statement. This one has never bloomed. I have heard that the blooms are really cool on this. I got this at a plant swap a few years ago, but I think it looks so cool hanging in my window, and I just love it. And those types of, I'll start talking when I'm not at this weird angle. And this one is pretty, oh, it just fell over, but it's so root bound that no soil came out. So heck yeah, it really did need to be repotted. And I noticed that when I brought it in here, but haven't done it yet. Okay, so this is my fern leaf orchid cactus, and it's a little dusty. I need to give it a bath, and I'm gonna do that after this. But I love this. I talk about it all the time. People ask me about it all the time, and I just have it hanging out above my couch. So if we'll be like watching TV or something at night, I'm really just looking at this thing. I think these are just so cool. This has been such an easy plant for me. It does like quite a bit of water, I've found, but it's pretty easy to tell when you need to up the watering because it sprouts these little sticks here, and that's a good indicator that you need to be watering it more often. Okay, so now we're gonna go out into the greenhouse so I can show you my favorites out there. Oh, camera's fogged up. We'll try again later. Okay, so my next favorite, which is always one of my top favorites, is Gary the Fiddle Leaf Fig. He is doing so well. I'm gonna show you some other clips of him, but yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure what the plan is. It's outgrowing the greenhouse. So I guess I need a bigger greenhouse. Also, somebody gave me another big Fiddle Leaf Fig this morning, just like messaged me and like, hey, do you want this fiddle? And I'm like, yeah. I can't turn down a fiddle. I love a Fiddle Leaf Fig. I don't know what it is. They're my easiest plants. They're some of my favorites. I should make an update video on how Gary is doing, so I might be making that soon, but I just love a Fiddle Leaf Fig, and I always have. So here he is. He's doing so well. I feel like I should probably maybe cut this branch off or prop it up somehow. And it looks so cool. I've got my Philodendron gigas growing up the trunk. So I just love a good Fiddle Leaf Fig. What can I say? Okay, so this wasn't on my list, but I'm gonna add it to my list. And it's my Anthurium silver. It's doing so well. I'm so happy to see this little leaf. It gave me a little bit of a runner, which Anthurium like to do. So I'm really happy to see this leaf. Such a cool plant. Okay, this is my next favorite, and it's always one of my favorites. That's my Philodendron Painted Lady. I think this is just some of the most beautiful variegation, and the pink stems just really set it off. And it seems like the more light you give them, the more bright yellow they are. So if you struggle to get variegation on your painted lady, I would try just as much light as you can possibly give it. But I never get tired of this one. I mean, how could I? I cut this up all the time, and I sell a lot of these. A lot of people ask me for these. And I don't blame them. I feel like they got a lot of hype for a while, but then they didn't. But I think they deserve it. I think they're just, you can't beat it. Like, there's a lot of really cool, fancy, variegated plants, but in my opinion, they don't quite measure up to the Philodendron Painted Lady. I mean, you just can't beat it. Look at it. Okay, so my next favorite is my big Philodendron Pink Princess, and it's gotten really big. The leaves have sized up so well. This was, if I had seen myself with this plant in 2020, I would have absolutely lost my mind. This was like my dream, and now they have them at Walmart, and that's never not going to be crazy to me, but I'm still just enamored with this plant. Pink is probably my favorite color other than green, so just any color that plants are is my favorite. So yeah, this Pink Princess, and the color does not show up the same on camera as it does in person. It looks very like a bubblegum pink in person, but on the camera it's like a pale pink. But look how big these leaves have gotten. And I probably should put this in a bigger pot, or like maybe a ceramic pot, but I have this rock on here to hold it down because it'll fall over, because it's just gotten pretty big. So I'm just so excited about it. And with the demand having gone down a little bit for these, I'm gonna stop cutting mine up, except for you, Grandma. I'm gonna cut a piece of this plant off for you. So if you're not my grandma, sorry, I'm not cutting up this plant anymore. Okay, I've got The Devil Went Down to Georgia stuck in my head for two reasons. One of May's nicknames is the Devil, because she's the devil. She's really cute, but man, she's just the most mischievous dog I have ever encountered. So yeah, sometimes we call her the Devil. And I was talking about Fiddle Leaf Figs, so then naturally they came together, and now I'm probably going to be singing The Devil Went Down to Georgia for years to come, I'm sure. Okay, so my next favorite is my Rickrack Cactus. I think this is a Rickrack Cactus. It's either that or a fishbone. This thing has gone... Oh, excuse me, Gary. This thing has gone crazy. It's huge. Look at this. I got this as a 4-inch pot in 2021, and it was kind of struggling there for a while until about probably within the last 3 or 4 months, and it is right above my little mushroom CO2 generator. And I think that is why, because after being by that thing for a couple of weeks, this thing had doubled in size, and I take cuttings of this constantly, and it is still this big. But I am just such a fan of these kinds of plants. What would you call them? Like the orchid cactus type of things? I think that they're so cool, and I want one of every kind that there is. And here's another one. I can't remember what this one is called, but I got this at the Baker Creek Spring Planting Festival. And this one is, I love the way that it moves. It's so strange. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like, but this is supposed to be the one with the really cool blooms. And yeah, it's quite a bit less rigid than the other ones. So I kind of like that. I feel like it has more opportunity to, oh God, to be like a trailing plant. And I'm gonna see if I can find what this one is called. This one was pretty expensive. It's definitely the most expensive of all of them that I've purchased, but I really like it, and I would buy it again if I had the opportunity. Okay, so that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know which one of these was your favorite and if you've had a favorite plant this month. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Queen City Tropicals, and I'll see you again soon. Did I say thank you for watching? Thank you for watching. If I didn't already say that, thank you. I sound like I'm on the phone. This is how awkward I am on the phone, I think. I don't know. Okay, I'll see you again soon.